Good morning to everyone watching this video. Today I will be talking about one of the most important topics for UGC NET Economics, which is part of your public finance. So this is canons of taxation. This is also important for economics optional, UPSC, for RBI, DEPR, for Indian Economic Services as well. We will not only be talking about canons of taxation, but we will be covering a lot of more concepts along with this. Alright, so let's begin. Okay, so first of all, before we move on to the canons of taxation, we need to understand what do you mean by a tax? What is a tax? So in simple words, we need to keep a few things in mind. One, a tax is a compulsory payment. What is it? It is a compulsory payment made to the government. And why is it made? To avail public services. Right? This is the reason why we pay taxes to the government. One thing that we need to keep in mind is that there is no quid pro quo. Now, what do you mean by quid pro quo? What is the meaning of quid pro quo first of all? So, quid pro quo means when there is an agreement. What is it? When there is an agreement between two parties for the exchange of goods, services, or for anything. So when we are talking about an agreement, that means we are saying that there is quid pro quo. Now in case of a tax, there is no quid pro quo. Why are we saying that? Because you have to compulsorily pay the tax. Even if you are not the beneficiary, you will have to pay the tax. Right? For example, tax is levied on the rich also, on the poor also, on the middle class also, lower middle class, upper middle class. So everybody has to pay the tax. But the beneficiary is mostly the poor sections of the society. Right? Because we are mostly investing in social welfare schemes. That means this tax is not an agreement. You are not mutually saying that ठीक है, government is taking money from you, you are paying tax to the government and you will get this kind of service. No, there is no one-to-one agreement. Right? Understood the meaning of tax? What basically is a tax? The major terms related to what you have to remember while you define a tax. So you have to keep in mind these four things. That it is a compulsory payment made to the government. Why is it made? To avail public services, and there is no quid pro quo. Right? Okay, let's move forward. Now, you might have seen certain different terms. For example, one is a tax. Then there is a term called fees. Then there is a term called fine. Then you also see a term called cess and surcharge. Before we move forward, we need to see that how is a tax different from fees, different from fine, different from cess and surcharge. Right? Mostly all the students are confused between cess and surcharge. So we will see one by one what is the meaning of these terms. Tax we have already seen. It is a compulsory payment made to the government to avail public services, and there is no quid pro quo. Right? Okay. Now, if we talk about fees, you have to remember that in case of fees, there is a quid pro quo. Right? For example, stamp duty. So, in this case, there is an agreement between two parties. Right? You are being charged by the government that if you take this public service, you will be paying for it. For example, stamp duty. Right? What is stamp duty now? If you're opening a business and you have to take a thappa from the government, right? एक stamp लगना चाहिए कि हाँ okay, all the regulations are done, now you can open your business, right? So for that, वो stamp लगवाने के लिए the government charges a duty, charges a fee, right? That is a fee. So there is a mutual agreement that if you want this service, you will have to pay a particular fee. Right? For example, if you've enrolled into a school or an institution for coaching, you pay a certain kind of fees for availing their services. That is what is fees basically. Done the meaning of fees. Okay, then we have fine. What is a fine now? What do you mean by a fine? Now fine, if we talk about fine specifically, it is a penalty, right? It is a penalty to stop offenses, to stop certain offenses from happening. ठीक है? So fine किस लिए? That if you commit an offense, for example, if you're stealing from someone, for you, suppose you're doing money laundering, you're involved in trafficking, so if you do certain kind of offenses, you will have to pay for it. That is a fine. So why do you levy a fine? To stop from offenses happening, to create a discipline in the economy, right? So that is the reason why fines are levied. Then we have cess and surcharge. Majorly people have a confusion that what is a cess and what is a surcharge. Let's see the difference now. What is the full form of cess? Central Excise and Service Tax. What is your central excise? Excise duty is on the manufacture of goods. This is a tax levied or a duty levied on the manufacturing of goods, right? Then you have a service tax. If you want to avail certain professional services, banking services, insurance services, so if you have to avail these kind of services, then this tax is charged. Now, when we talk about cess, a tax over and above this existing tax structure, is called cess. So can you say in simple words that your cess is a tax on tax, right? You might have heard cow cess, health cess, education cess. Now what is it? It is a tax on tax. It is not a major tax that everybody has to pay. This is a specific tax which is levied over and above the already existing tax. आपने already pay कर दिया tax, right? उसके ऊपर आपको थोड़ा सा और 1%, 2% आपको pay करना पड़ेगा. किस चीज़ के लिए? किसी स्पेसिफिक पर्पस के लिए, किसी स्पेसिफिक प्रोजेक्ट को फंड करने के लिए, किसी गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी को, किसी इनिशिएटिव को, किसी मिशन को, उसको फुल करने के लिए ये एक एक्स्ट्रा टैक्स है जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर के ऊपर लगता है. दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सेस. ओके, सो इट इज फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर पर्पस, फॉर अ स्पेसिफिक पर्पस ओनली. वो मतलब गवर्नमेंट टेल्स यू दैट व्हाई आर यू चार्जिंग दिस सेस, so that you can rehabilitate the cows, so that you can promote health facilities, so that you can promote education. For example, economic policy को implement करने के लिए the government charges cess. And किस luxury items, किस पे लगता है? On the luxury items. tax on tax and ऑन द लग्जरी आइटम्स में ऑलरेडी आपने टैक्स पे कर दिया, उसके ऊपर एक एक्स्ट्रा आपको पे करना पड़ेगा जो कि स्पेसिफाइड होता है बाय द गवर्नमेंट। ठीक है जी। देन देर इज अ टर्म कॉल्ड सरचार्ज। अब बोलेंगे ये भी टैक्स ऑन टैक्स ही होता है, दिस इज ऑल्सो टैक्स ऑन टैक्स ओवर एंड अबव द एग्जिस्टिंग टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर लगता है ये, लेकिन इसमें द गवर्नमेंट normally tells कि हाँ we are charging a tax on tax for public welfare. When the government needs extra money, you know, for only, but इसमें the government is not specifying. But in case of cess, the government was specifying कि काउ है, काउ सेस है, एजुकेशन सेस है, हेल्थ सेस है। इसमें नहीं बोलते कि हेल्थ सरचार्ज है, इसमें नहीं बोलते काउ सरचार्ज है। हैव यू एवर हर्ड कि काउ सरचार्ज बोल रहे हैं? नो, राइट। इसीलिए दैट इज हाउ सरचार्ज एंड सेस आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम ईच अदर. I hope that the meaning of these different terms are clear. It will not only help you as you know from your exam perspective, but also it will help you understand the newspaper very easily, because these terms are time and again mentioned, right? Done? Now that we have seen the difference between certain terms, let's come back to our major topic, which is canons of taxation. Now we have seen what do you mean by a tax. Then what is taxation? What is taxation? So taxation is the totality of all the taxes levied in an economic system. तो जब हम सारे टाइप्स के टैक्सेस, फीस, सेस, सरचार्ज, इन सब कुछ हम टोटल कर देंगे, राइट, इकट्ठा करके अगर हम बोल दें तो वो हो गया हमारा टैक्सेशन सिस्टम. योर टैक्सेशन सिस्टम इज द नंबर ऑफ टैक्सेस और द टाइप ऑफ टैक्सेस, योर टैक्सेशन स्ट्रक्चर, जो ये सब है दैट कम्स अंडर योर टैक्सेशन, राइट. सो टैक्सेशन इज द टोटलिटी ऑफ ऑल द टैक्सेस. देन व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय कैनन्स? कैनन्स का क्या मतलब है? टैक्सेशन देख लिया, टैक्सेस देख लिए, डिफरेंस बिटवीन सर्टन टर्म्स देख लिया, फिर कैनन्स का एग्जैक्टली मतलब क्या है? सो कैनन्स मीन्स गाइडलाइंस, प्रिंसिपल्स, राइट, कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, बेसिकली कि एक टैक्सेशन सिस्टम इक्विटेबल होना चाहिए, इकोनॉमिकल होना चाहिए, कन्वीनियंट होना चाहिए, सिंपल होना चाहिए. कैसा होना चाहिए? हाउ शुड अ टैक्सेशन सिस्टम बी? उसके फीचर्स क्या होने चाहिए? दैट इज योर कैनन्स ऑफ टैक्सेशन. नाउ हु डिसाइड्स दीज फीचर्स और द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स ऑफ अ टैक्सेशन सिस्टम? हु डिसाइड्स इट? ऑब्वियसली द टैक्सेशन अथॉरिटी. Theoretically and in terms of economics, theoretical economics, we know who gave the canons of taxation. We'll see to that. What are the canons of taxation, right? What are the meaning of taxation? What should be the basic principles? वो हम देख लेंगे, वो हमें पता है, इकोनॉमिकली theoretically हमें पता है, राइट. लेकिन जो टैक्सेशन अथॉरिटी है वो उसका ऑप्टिमल लेवल, उसे कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, क्या लेवल होना चाहिए इन फीचर्स का, who decides it? The taxation authority. According to the economic situation of the country, according to the type of economic system, the taxation authority will decide. Done? So now we know what do you mean by canons of taxation. All right. Now, who gave these canons for the first time? Canons of taxation. So for the first time, Adam Smith gave the canons of taxation, and initially he gave 4 canons of taxation which you have to learn. In your UGC NET exam, you have direct question from here. So you have to learn it. Okay, done. So let's see which are the first 4. Later also there were many other canons which were added on by the other economists. Okay, but right now let's study first of all which were the first 4. How can you learn it? By E square C square. E for equity, E for economy, certainty and convenience. Equity, economy, certainty, convenience. So you can remember this abbreviation and accordingly learn. We will understand one by one what do you mean by these terms, and साथ में we will also understand some very different terms also which are part of your public economics. So this is not just one topic, but holistically we will be covering a lot of concepts here. Okay, now what do you mean by equity? What is equity? Now here there are 2 terms. One is equity and the other is equality. What is the difference between equity and equality? What do you think is the difference? Okay, right. Let me explain you. Now let's take an example. For example, there are 4 people, A, B, C, D. They have different incomes. Okay, A has an income of 50,000, B has an income of 35,000, C has an income of 30,000 and D has an income of 20,000. Just taking an example. Now, if I charge a tax equally from them, I will charge 10,000 from everyone. Say 10,000 is the flat rate of tax and I am charging this amount from everybody equally. Now the person who has 20,000 salary is also paying 10,000 tax, and the person who has 50,000 salary is also paying 10,000 tax. So is it just? Is it fair? Is it? Obviously not, right? Because 50,000 person के पास 40,000 salary बच रही है, right? And इसके पास बेचारे के पास he is left with only 10k salary. So this is not just at all. On the other hand, if I charge a tax equitably, how will I charge? Say I will charge 25,000 from A, I will charge 20,000 from B, okay, I'll charge 18,000 from C and I'll charge say 5,000 from D. Now this is equitable. Depending on the ability you have, depending on the capability with which you can pay, depending on your income that you are paying. Higher the income, higher the tax. Right? So this is a more just system. That is why we say that your income tax is equitable in nature and progressive in nature. Have you understood the difference between equality and equity? बस आपने ये example याद रखना है and you'll never forget it. Then there are 2 more terms. One is your progressive taxation. Then you have your regressive taxation. Then there is another term, degressive taxation. And one more, proportional taxation. Now tell me, what is the difference between all these terms? Tell me. Now, as your tax rate increases, it is termed as progressive taxation, which is following an equitable concept. So, higher your income, higher the tax levied on you. Right? If you see your tax slabs, बजट में देखते हैं ना टैक्स स्लैब्स, तो उसमें क्या होता है 0 to 3 lakh you have to pay no tax, 3 to 6 lakh certain amount of tax, 6 to 12 certain amount of tax. So this way you have a tax structure that more the income you have, higher the tax you are paying. That is your progressive taxation. On the other hand, if your income increases and your tax rate decreases, the amount of tax you are paying decreases, it is called regressive taxation, and this is not equal nor it is equitable. It is a kind of unjustified tax on the poor, you can say. An example for progressive taxation is indirect taxes. For example, there is a packet of salt which costs 20 rupees and you are paying 5 rupees tax on it. So a person who is poor is also paying 25 rupees for the packet of salt, and someone who is earning in crores is also paying the same amount for the salt. This is not just, right? That is the issue with regressive taxation. Done? Then what is digressive taxation and what is proportional taxation system? In case of proportional tax system, you are charging a flat rate from everyone. A flat rate of tax. That means if you are tax only. If I have 20k worth of salary, 10%. If I have 80k worth of salary, then also I am paying just 10%. So that is your flat rate of tax. That is your proportional taxation, right? Then you have digressive taxes. In case of digressive taxes, initially it is progressive tax. As your income increases, your tax rate increases. Okay, initially as your income increases, tax rate increases, but after you reach a certain point, there is a flat rate of tax, right? For example, in your tax slabs also, this is also happens, right? 30% tax over and above a certain amount of money. That is digressive. As your income increases, initially your tax is increasing, but after a point, a flat rate is charged. Done? We can see diagrammatically also. In case of progressive taxation, as your income increases, progressive taxation, as your income increases, your tax also increases, right? Then you have your regressive tax. Regressive tax is like this. As your income increases, your tax decreases, right? Then you have your proportional. This is your proportional tax, which is a flat rate of tax. Flat rate of tax. And then you have your digressive tax. Initially it is progressive and then a flat rate is charged, right? Then a flat rate is charged. This is your digressive tax. Done? Understood? With the help of this diagram, you will be able to learn these concepts, right? So we were seeing the canon of equity, but along with that we have covered so many concepts. This is the way to learn. This is the way to remember things in an integrated and holistic manner, right? Okay. So now canon of equity is clear. Then we have the second canon given by Adam Smith, which is economy. Canon of economy. What do you mean by canon of economy now? इसका मतलब ये है कि जो कलेक्शन ऑफ टैक्सेस है, जो आप कलेक्ट करने जा रहे हो टैक्स, ऐसा ना हो कि आप कलेक्ट करने में ही बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा लगा रहे हैं, राइट? आपने इकोनॉमिकल तरीके से, कॉस्ट इफेक्ट तरीके से आपने टैक्स कलेक्शन करनी है, तभी तो आपके पास एक्स्ट्रा मनी बच पाएगा, तभी आप ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू जनरेट कर पाएंगे, राइट? आपके एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव एक्सपेंसेस जो है वो कम होने चाहिए, आपको उसे कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव बनाना है, एफिशिएंट बनाना है. योर टैक्सेशन सिस्टम शुड बी एफिशिएंट इनफ, राइट? डन? सो कैनन ऑफ इकोनॉमी क्लियर? ओके. Then we had C square, certainty. What do you mean by certainty now? Your taxation system should be certain. पता होना चाहिए कि कब, कितना, कहाँ, कैसे टैक्स कलेक्ट होगा. How much tax you have to pay, it should be certain. It should not be arbitrary. It should not be arbitrary. It should not of the tax authorities. It should not be left to the discretion of the tax authorities. राइट? कि ऐसा ना हो टैक्स अथॉरिटीज की डिस्क्रिशन हो जाए है, इस साल वो कुछ और टैक्स चार्ज कर रहे हैं, एकदम से नेक्स्ट ईयर बढ़ा देंगे, वो सर्टेन ही नहीं रहेगा. सर्टेन नहीं रहेगा तो क्या प्रॉब्लम आएगी? टैक्स एवेजन की प्रॉब्लम आएगी. पीपल विल रिफ्रेन फ्रॉम पेइंग टैक्सेस. वो बोलेंगे यार इनको पता तो है नहीं है कौन सा टैक्स पे करना है, कब पे करना है, कहाँ पे करना है. I don't want to get irritated, I'm not paying tax. So tax evasion का issue बढ़ जाएगा, right? So your taxation system should be certain. Okay. Then we have the fourth canon, which is convenience. What do you mean by convenience now? मतलब your taxation system should be convenient for people. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि उनको मुश्किल लगे टैक्स को पे करना. अगर उनको मुश्किल लगेगा तो कौन सी प्रॉब्लम आएगी? टैक्स एवेजन की प्रॉब्लम आएगी. इसके लिए हमने क्या किया है, जैसे हमने ITR इनकम टैक्स रिटर्न को ऑनलाइन फाइल करने वाला सिस्टम जो शुरू हुआ है, वो किस लिए है? कन्वीनियंट बनाने के लिए, टैक्सेशन सिस्टम को कन्वीनियंट करने के लिए कि यू डोंट हैव टू स्टैंड इन लॉन्ग क्यूज, यू कैन सिट एट होम एंड फाइल इट ऑनलाइन. सो इट्स सिंपल, इट्स कन्वीनियंट. इफ इट्स कन्वीनियंट फॉर मी, मैं इजीली उसे पे कर सकती हूँ तो मैं पे करूंगी. आई विल नॉट ट्राई टू एवेड द टैक्सेस, राइट? So now we have seen the four major, E square, C square canons of taxation which were given initially by Adam Smith. Then there were certain other economists who added on to these canons of taxation, right? Let's see what are those. We will clear two concepts from here. One is tax elasticity, concept of tax elasticity, and then another concept of tax buoyancy. Now what is the difference between elasticity and buoyancy when we are talking about it in taxation terms? Mostly students are confused between what these terms mean and what is the basic difference between these. So let's see. Let's talk about buoyancy first. Now, tax buoyancy means that as your tax base increases, your tax revenue of the government should increase. Now, what do you mean by a tax base? Tax base का क्या मतलब है? Base means जिसके ऊपर कोई चीज़ हम कर रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ दिस इज अ बिल्डिंग, देन जो इसका बेस है, इसके ऊपर ही पूरी आपकी इमारत, पूरी आपका जो बिल्डिंग है वो खड़ी हुई है. सो बेस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, राइट? तो टैक्स बेसिस कि आप किस चीज़ पे टैक्स लिवाई कर रहे हो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू आर चार्जिंग इन इनकम टैक्स, देन योर इनकम इज योर बेस. Income is the tax base. If you're charging a property tax, then property is your tax base. If you're charging a wealth tax, wealth is the base. So your tax base is किस पे आप टैक्स लगा रहे हो, किन किन चीज़ों पे आप टैक्स लगा रहे हो, क्या क्या आइटम्स पे आप टैक्स लगा रहे हो. That is your tax base. Right? So as your tax base increases, obviously अगर आपका tax base increase हो रहा है ना, आपकी इनकम इंक्रीज हो रही है, जीडीपी इंक्रीज हो रही है, आउटपुट इकोनॉमी में इंक्रीज हो रही है, दैट मीन्स नेचुरली योर टैक्स रेवेन्यू शुड ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. अगर इनकम इंक्रीज होगी तो आपका इनकम टैक्स बढ़ेगा, वो हायर ब्रैकेट में आएंगे, वो हायर ब्रैकेट में आएंगे तो उनका टैक्स रेवेन्यू ज़्यादा जनरेट होना चाहिए. राइट? अंडरस्टूड द मीनिंग ऑफ buoyancy? Okay, so you can write the formula: percentage change in tax revenue due to percentage change in your tax base. याद रहेगा what do you mean by tax base? तो जब हम tax base की बात कर रहे हैं, we are talking about buoyancy of tax, right? Buoyancy of tax. You have to learn and remember this because it is very important. You can get it in your MCQs. If you're reading it for, economics optional or Indian economic services, then also this concept is very important. Done? Done tax buoyancy? Okay. Then what is tax elasticity? Now, under tax elasticity, as your tax rate increases, your tax revenue should increase. वहाँ पे क्या था? टैक्स बेस. यहाँ पे क्या है? टैक्स रेट. रेट का क्या मतलब है? If it's 10% this year and if it after 10 years it's 20%, then with an increase in your tax rate, your tax revenue should also increase. Obviously, अगर आपका टैक्स रेट बढ़ रहा है तो आपका रेवेन्यू भी ज़्यादा जनरेट होना चाहिए because you're levying more tax rate, right? लेकिन यहाँ पे भी एक लैफर भाई साहब आए. Have you heard about Laffer curve? No. So Laffer जी ने क्या बोला? ठीक है, initially as you increase your tax rate, increases, when it reaches an optimal tax rate, after that if you try to increase your tax rate further, then what will happen? Your tax revenue will decrease. This is your tax revenue over here and here is your tax rate. So what did he say? कि ठीक है, इनिशियली अगर आप अपना टैक्स रेट को इंक्रीज कर रहे हो, हाँ आपका रेवेन्यू जनरेट होगा ज़्यादा, बट ओनली टू अ सर्टेन पॉइंट विच इज़ योर ऑप्टिमल टैक्स रेट. सिर्फ वहाँ तक ही आपका टैक्स रेट की वजह से आपका टैक्स रेवेन्यू इंक्रीज होगा. Beyond that, your tax revenue will start decreasing with an increase in tax rate. Why? Because of the issue of tax evasion. आप जितना ज़्यादा लोगों से जितना ज़्यादा टैक्स रेट इंक्रीज करोगे, उतना सब बोलेंगे कि यार मेरे पास तो कुछ बच ही नहीं रहा है. I'm not able to save anything. It's better I do not pay the taxes. I'll use methods to evade taxes. तभी तो मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग जैसी चीज़ें हो रही हैं. Right? So there should be an optimal टैक्स रेट. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एक ऑप्टिमल टैक्स रेट होना बहुत ज़रूरी है, उसके बियॉन्ड नहीं जाना आपने. दैट इज व्हाट लैफर सेड. राइट? अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इज टैक्स इलास्टिसिटी एंड टैक्स buoyancy? आई होप आई हैव मेड दीज थिंग्स वेरी क्लियर टू यू. आई होप नाउ यू विल नॉट फॉरगेट. साथ साथ हमने लैफर कर्व को भी कवर कर लिया. ठीक है? सो यू कैन राइट द फॉर्मूला फॉर इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ टैक्स या फिर टैक्स इलास्टिसिटी: percentage change in tax revenue because of percentage change in tax rate. So here you have tax base in case of buoyancy and tax rate in case of elasticity. अब इसमें भी कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है, टैक्स बेस को याद रखें, टैक्स रेट को कभी कभी कंफ्यूजन हो जाती है, राइट? कभी बोल दिया बॉयंसी में टैक्स रेट की बात कर दी, कभी इलास्टिसिटी में. सो हाउ कैन यू रिमेंबर? बॉयंसी में बी है और टैक्स बेस में बी है, सो ऐसे यू कैन रिमेंबर इट. टैक्स बॉयंसी, टैक्स बेस. So your revenue is, tax revenue is generated because of tax base is your tax buoyancy. I hope you will not forget these terms again. And साथ में with tax elasticity you have to remember the concept of Laffer curve. I hope things are clear now. Okay, let's move forward now. Then there are certain other canons of taxation which were added. For example, canon of simplicity. Canon of simplicity is also very simple. कुछ भी नहीं है. Your taxation system should be very simple. It should be simple to understand the kind of taxes that are being levied. Simple होना चाहिए, ज़्यादा complex नहीं होना चाहिए. अगर complex होगा उससे क्या issue होगा? Complex होगा उससे क्या issue होगा? Tax evasion again. So हमने इसको avoid करना है basically. Done. Then there is another canon called canon of flexibility. What is canon of flexibility? कि आपका जो टैक्सेशन सिस्टम है वो फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं है कि जो 1980s 1990s में जो हमारा टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर चल रहा है, आज की विद चेंजिंग टाइम्स डायनामिज्म की वजह से हम उसी पे वही ऑर्थोडॉक्स या फिर वही पुराना टैक्सेशन सिस्टम नहीं चलना चाहिए. With time, your taxation system should also change with the changing circumstances. Right? जैसे जैसे circumstances change हो रहे हैं, evolve हो रहे हैं, आपका taxation system भी evolve होना चाहिए. It should be flexible. क्योंकि dynamic है, right? The world is dynamic. It's changing. इन्फ्लेशन हो रही है, उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपका टैक्स रेट चेंज होगा. इकोनॉमी में कैसी सिचुएशन हो रही है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आपका फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए टैक्सेशन सिस्टम. क्लियर? व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ सिंप्लिसिटी एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी? देन इज योर कैनन ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी. कैनन ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय प्रोडक्टिविटी? कैनन ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी दैट मीन्स जो आपका टैक्सेशन सिस्टम है वो प्रोडक्टिव होना चाहिए. प्रोडक्टिव मतलब इट शुड जनरेट गुड इनफ रेवेन्यू. It should generate good amount of revenue so that the government does not resort to deficit financing और borrowing. क्या मतलब है इसका? कि आपका जो रेवेन्यू आप जनरेट कर रहे हो आपकी टैक्सेशन सिस्टम से वो गुड इनफ होना चाहिए. वो इनफ होना चाहिए कि आप अपने एक्सपेंडिचर को मीट कर सके, कि गवर्नमेंट अपने एक्सपेंडिचर को मीट कर सके. सो दैट द गवर्नमेंट शुड नॉट रिजॉर्ट टू डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग, दैट इज बोरोइंग फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल बैंक वेयर दे प्रिंट द मनी, वेयर द सेंट्रल बैंक प्रिंट्स द मनी. क्योंकि उससे इन्फ्लेशन हो जाएगी. इकोनॉमी में आप प्रिंट कर रहे हो मनी विदाउट जनरेटिंग एक्चुअली प्रोड्यूस्ड गुड्स, विदाउट जनरेटिंग गुड्स. असली में कोई प्रोडक्शन नहीं हो रही है और आप पैसा छाप रहे हो. सो दैट द गवर्नमेंट डजंट रिजॉर्ट टू दीज प्रैक्टिसेस लाइक बोरोइंग एंड डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग, वी नीड टू हैव गुड अमाउंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू. दैट इज योर कैनन ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी. डन? क्लियर? लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड. Then we have canon of diversity. What do you mean by canon of diversity? Diversity means diverse होना, अलग अलग चीजें होना. Diversity का यही मतलब होता है, right? तो आपने सुना होगा don't put all your eggs in one basket. क्या मतलब है ये? दैट मीन्स अगर आप एक ही चीज़ पे रिलाई करोगे, एक ही सोर्स ऑफ इनकम पे, एक ही सोर्स ऑफ रेवेन्यू पे रिलाई करोगे, सो इट माइट बी पॉसिबल कि कभी बिकॉज ऑफ द इकोनॉमिक सिचुएशन आपको एक गुड इनफ रेवेन्यू ना मिले. सो इफ़ यू चार्ज अ टैक्स ऑन डिफरेंट आइटम्स, अलग अलग चीज़ों से आप टैक्स रेवेन्यू को जनरेट करने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो उससे क्या होगा कि अगर एक जगह से लॉस हो रहा है, सो यू कैन यू नो कॉम्पनसेट इट फ्रॉम अनदर एरिया. वही तो कॉन्सेप्ट है म्यूचुअल फंड्स का कि योर सोर्स ऑफ इनकम इज डिफरेंट, ताकि अगर एक में लॉस हो जाए तो दूसरे से कॉम्पनसेट हो जाए, उसमें लॉस हो जाए तो किसी और से कॉम्पनसेट हो जाए, राइट. सो आपके जो टैक्सेशन सिस्टम होना चाहिए, जहाँ पे आप टैक्सेस लिवाई कर रहे हो, वो डिफरेंट होना चाहिए, डिफरेंट होना चाहिए. इट शुड बी मोर. लेकिन एक चीज़ याद रखनी है कि इतना भी ज़्यादा डाइवर्स नहीं होना चाहिए है, क्योंकि फिर वो क्या वायलेट करेगा, इट विल वायलेट कैनन ऑफ इकोनॉमी. व्हाई विल इट वायलेट कैनन ऑफ इकोनॉमी? बिकॉज आपकी कॉस्ट ऑफ कलेक्शन जो है, कॉस्ट ऑफ कलेक्शन ऑफ टैक्सेस विल इंक्रीज. जितने ज़्यादा आप टैक्सेस लिवाई करेंगे उतना ज़्यादा आपका कॉस्ट बढ़ेगा. अगर कॉस्ट बढ़ गया तो आपका कैनन ऑफ इकोनॉमी वायलेट हो गया, राइट. इसीलिए जो आपकी डाइवर्सिटी को अगर आप लेकर चल रहे हो, इट शुड नॉट बी वेरी डाइवर्स एंड इट शुड नॉट जस्ट बी 1 or 2 टैक्सेस. डाइवर्सिफाई करो, बट इंटेलिजेंटली डाइवर्सिफाई करो. इस तरह से डाइवर्सिफाई करो कि इकोनॉमी में कोई फर्क ना पड़े, इशू ना हो कोई. सो दीज ऑल आर योर कैनन्स ऑफ टैक्सेशन. अंडरस्टूड? I hope all these are clear to you. Let's just, let's rewind. We were talking about canons of taxation. Then we talked about what is a tax. What is a tax? We saw it as a compulsory payment made to the government to avail public services, and there is no quid pro quo. Just remember these 4 points and you have a good definition for tax. Right? फिर हमने क्विड प्रो को का मतलब देखा. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय क्विड प्रो को? व्हेन देयर इज एन एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन 2 parties. इन केस ऑफ अ टैक्स देयर इज नो एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन द पार्टीज. इवन इफ यू आर अ बेनिफिशियरी, you might not, even if you're not the beneficiary, you have to pay the tax, right? That is why there is a term called, there is a saying that tax is as certain as death. This is a quote. Why is it? Because of this no quid pro quo and the basic feature of a tax. Because of this feature of a tax, right? Now if you get a question that explain what do you mean by tax is as certain as death, what do you mean by it? Can you do it? Of course you can do it. Okay, then we talked about the difference between tax, fees, fines, cess and surcharge. I hope all these are clear to you. Tax we have seen, fees is mutually there is quid pro quo, there is an agreement, you are paying for a service. Fine is a penalty to stop offences. Then cess and surcharge, there are tax on tax. In case of cess, you are specifying, the government is specifying where are you using that tax, and isme it is not specified, right? Major difference clear? Then we talked about, okay, cess and surcharge, we have seen the major difference, right? Then we talked about the canons of taxation. What do you mean by a taxation system? What do you mean by canons? Canons are guidelines and principles, or you can say characteristics of how a taxation system should be. Taxation matlab totality of all the taxes. Then we talked about the canons of taxation. Initially, Adam Smith gave 4 canons of taxation. How can you remember them? E square, C square. Equity, economy, certainty, convenience. We saw the difference between equity and equality. We took an example and we saw the difference. I hope we will not forget the difference between equity and economy. Then we saw the 4 types of taxation: progressive taxes, regressive taxes, digressive taxes and proportional taxes. And we understood it with the help of a diagram. If you remember this diagram, you will never forget it. Then canon of economy, cost effective होना चाहिए, right? Efficient होना चाहिए, cost of collection ज़्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए, certainty होनी चाहिए, arbitrary नहीं होना चाहिए, then convenient होना चाहिए so that tax evasion ना हो. Then we saw the difference between tax elasticity and tax buoyancy. So if your tax rate increases, your tax revenue should increase. What is it? Elasticity of a tax. And as your tax base increases, tax revenue should increase. That is your buoyancy of tax. Buoyancy को कैसे याद रखेंगे? Buoyancy base, tax base, tax buoyancy, BB, right? Then we saw Laffer curve. What is Laffer curve? ज़रूरी नहीं है कि अगर आपका टैक्स रेट इंक्रीज हो रहा है तो आपका रेवेन्यू भी इंक्रीज होगा. सो यू हैव टू फॉलो एन ऑप्टिमल टैक्स रेट. बियॉन्ड दैट योर टैक्स रेवेन्यू विल डिक्रीज. देन वी सॉ सम अदर कैनन्स लाइक सिंप्लिसिटी. सिंपल होना चाहिए, फ्लेक्सिबल होना चाहिए, विद चेंजिंग सर्कमस्टांसेस चेंज हो जाना चाहिए सिस्टम. देन प्रोडक्टिविटी, प्रोडक्टिव होना चाहिए, राइट? इनफ रेवेन्यू जनरेट करना चाहिए. इनफ रेवेन्यू जनरेट करेगा तो हम डेफिसिट फाइनेंसिंग नहीं करेंगे, बोरोइंग नहीं करेंगे. देन वी हैव कैनन ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी. डाइवर्सिटी मतलब डोंट पुट ऑल योर एग्स इन वन बास्केट. I hope now this topic is clear, and with this topic so many other concepts are clear. So we covered it in a very holistic manner, we followed an integrated approach, right? So if you want to study like this, then you can take my classes and it will be easy for you, right? Thank you so much. Have a nice day.